They started counting it. Hey, I know you guys just got back from lunch. Put your phones on vibrate.
Cool. Roger, Sergeant. Roger.
A lot of media coverage is centered around ISIS and the inhumane actions in the Middle East. The Islamic State of... So what is ISIS? The Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, abbreviated as ISIS, is a terrorist organization centered in Syria and Iraq. On 29 June 2014, they declared themselves an Islamic State and started movements to take control of Syria and Iraq. These movements have included actions such as like dehumanization, pillaging, and even rape. ISIS is not considered a state or even an Islamic organization recognized by any country. President Obama, in a public address on ISIS on September 10th, was quoted saying, "Let me make two things clear. ISIL is not Islamic, ISIL is not Islamic. No religion condones the killing of innocents, and the vast majority of ISIL's victims have been Muslim. And ISIL is certainly not a state." So why is ISIS a threat? The main threat ISIS poses stems from what it is. President Obama, when describing ISIS, said, "ISIL is a terrorist organization, pure and simple, and it has no vision other than to slaughter all those who stand in its way." ISIS has committed several war crimes, has had multiple tens of thousands of victims, and it is currently considered like the second most dangerous terrorist organization in the world, next to Al-Qaeda right now. The president has made two orders to help Iraq fight ISIS. The first thing President Obama ordered was the airstrikes in Syria and Iraq to help combat ISIS and to protect U.S. bases and compounds in the location. The second order the president gave was to send in 475 ground troops to help support rebels fighting against ISIS and the Iraqi army. The president has also gone on record stated that he has no problem sending forces into Syria if needed. The last thing I wanted to talk about was the coalition of countries that is currently fighting to oppose ISIS and help support the Iraq and Syrian government. Jordan, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia were some of the countries, the initial airstrikes in Syria, that supported the initial airstrikes in Syria. Am I hitting the next slide? Several countries, along with the United States, have supported humanitarian efforts for relief. This includes sending in food drops, water drops, and helping with medicine and first aid. The Turkish government has agreed, along with several other governments, to help train rebels and help equip rebels who are currently fighting ISIS in Syria and Iraq. And in closing, highlights I went over was what is ISIS, why they are considered a threat, and what the United States and other countries in the world are doing to help combat them. In conclusion, ISIS is one of the many terrorist organizations that oppose the basic ideas of freedom, dignity, and equality that America stands for, and like every other opponent in American history, is destined to fall to justice. That is my presentation on ISIS.